We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's a pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rough. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BVO, your boy D Free, and this is the Roll with the Punches podcast. What's going on, man?
Man, y'all tuned into the motherfucking greatest. Man, hey, I can't call it. We had a good weekend of boxing. I mean, some of the cards wasn't to my liking, but you can't complain. You had fights on this past weekend.
I'll say this, man. As you've seen the title of the day, we hear about Boo Boo possibly gonna be facing the Mexican Monster. You think he gonna beat him to death, or what you think, man? What you think about that fight?
I mean, it's a long time coming. I mean, we wanted this fight a few years back. What I will say is I didn't like the last showing that Boo Boo had at 168, which was his first fight at 168. And I didn't like the first half of the Caleb Plant fight with David Benavidez. So I mean, both of them have a lot to improve in training camp. So I mean, I can see it going either way. I can see Boo Boo going out there and just outboxing David Benavidez. And then I could just see David Benavidez overwhelming Demetrius Andrade. So I could see it going either way, but it's going to be a good fight. I think I don't know if it's going to be a knockout. I mean, both these guys have something to prove. They have a little bit of history between the two. So I don't know if it's going to be a knockout. I didn't see David Benavidez knock out Caleb Plant, and we know Caleb Plant has a gas tank issue, and he couldn't knock him out. So I don't know if he'd be able to knock out Boo Boo neither.
Well, didn't the ref have a lot to do with that? I think Kenny Bayless saved Caleb Plant's life. Anytime David went to do something, he kind of jumped in the way.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true to a certain extent. I think it was more so the fact that David Benavidez didn't know how to stop the clinch, because every time that David Benavidez started throwing his combination, Caleb Plant would clinch, and he didn't know how to get away from Caleb Plant clinching him so much.
So basically, you telling me you blaming him for Caleb Plant holding?
Yeah, because I mean, you gotta be able to avoid somebody from holding you. I mean, you gotta. It's part of the game. Clinching is part of the game. So, I mean, because that's what you're taught. You're taught if you get hurt to clinch, and you also taught to how to avoid a clinch. So, either his camp ain't teaching him how to avoid a clinch, or he just was okay with Caleb Plant clinching him.
I mean, it's one of them things where in that fight, I feel like, like you said it best, man. I feel like both these guys left a lot to be desired from these last performances, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
The way David looked, man, I was starting to think he might be a little bit of hype, man.
I can see that. What I do know is a boxer is not a good fight for a come forward fighter. If you just come forward and you don't have any footwork and you have problems, well, I ain't gonna say he has problem cutting the ring off because David Benavidez could cut the ring off. But if you just come straight forward, you're gonna have problems dealing with a boxer, especially if you're dealing with a boxer of the elite level. Now you can probably get past those boxers in the lower level, but when you start dealing with the elite level, you're gonna have problems if you just a straight come forward fighter. We see it time and time again with Canelo Alvarez. We've seen it in the first half of the David Benavidez fight with Caleb Plant. So, I mean, you gotta know how to be able to fight those style of fighting. If you can't fight that style of fighting, you're gonna have problems.
So one of the things that we gonna bring up today that I was thinking about is, so who would Jermell Charlo fight next if he stops Canelo?
That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I know he said he'll come back down to 54 to fight Terence Crawford, but I think, me personally, I don't even think if he beats Canelo, I don't even think that fight is going to be there for Jermell Charlo, because he's going to have a rematch with Canelo Alvarez. He's going to have a rematch, and I don't.
You don't have a rematch. Only Canelo has a rematch on this one.
Huh?
I said only Canelo can activate a rematch on this fight.
That's what I said. That's what I said. If he beats Canelo, I think Canelo, he's going to have a rematch with Canelo, and I don't think that Terence Crawford is going to be around for him to fight him, because if they have a rematch, that's going to take place next year. We don't know what time next year that's going to take place. So Terence Crawford will be hitting 37 years old or 38 by the time him and Jermell get in the ring. He's going to be hitting 37, 38 years old by the time they get in the ring. I don't think Terence Crawford is going to fight that late. I think Terence Crawford is going to have the rematch with Earl Spence, and then he's probably going to retire. He really doesn't have anything else to prove.
You don't think he got nothing else to prove? How? He went on your pound for pound list. How do he have
no? I said he don't have anything else to prove. Just because he's not number one on my pound for pound list. Everybody have their own opinion. He's probably not number one on a lot of people's pound for pound list. So just because you're not number one on my pound for pound list, I mean, quote unquote, my pound for pound list. Well, it's not even a quote. My pound for pound list don't mean nothing. I'm a fan. Everybody, I mean, pretty much nobody pound for pound list means anything, to be honest with you, because it's all subjected to opinion. You feel like that person is a better fighter. You feel like that person's a better fighter. Unless they get in the ring and fight each other, you would never know who's the better fighter. So it's all based off of opinion. So it really doesn't matter. What matters is you in the history book as a two-time undisputed champion. So that's what matters. The pound for pound don't matter at all.
I don't know, man. If you want to make money, I think it matters.
No, it doesn't matter. That shit doesn't matter. Tank Davis ain't been on the pound for pound list until this year, and he's been making money his whole career.
But that's a unicorn.
That shit don't matter.
That's a unicorn you just named. I don't know if that counts as a unicorn. You can count a unicorn.
I mean, you could say he's a unicorn or whatever, but I'm just saying you don't have to be on the pound for pound and still make money. I told you, it's all about the fights that the fans want to see. Just because ESPN and Ring Magazine don't put you on their pound for pound, that don't mean that's not what the fans want to see. They want to see that person in the ring.
So we got some comments, before about this, but why don't you respect the lineal belt? That's just a question, man. Why don't you respect the lineal belt? Why is that?
I'm on. Hold on 1 second.
No problem. Hold on, I'm missing some people. Salute to my brother Josh. My brother MP, my TWT family. He said, my man Juan, my brother, what's up with you, man? Bruce Gas, the legend, what's up with you, brother? But no, I was saying again, man, I want to know why you don't respect guys fighting the best guy in the division. Why is that?
I never said that. I never said that. That's what I want. I want the best fighters to fight each other. I said I don't respect the linear championship because they don't follow their quote unquote rules. Like I said, it's supposed to be the linear championship is supposed to go to the best fighter in the division. And for years, I mean, we all know that Gary Russell was the best fighter at 126. He was never the linear champion. We all know that Earl Spence was the best fighter when he was before him and Bud Crawford got in the ring. He wasn't the linear champion. So they don't follow their rules. So I'm not going to respect nobody that don't follow their rules. That's why I don't respect the WBC, because they don't follow their own rules.
See when you say that kind of stuff, man, that's crazy. You talking about you don't respect the belt that Muhammad Ali held and made famous. That makes no sense.
About the belt. I ain't say nothing about the belt. I said I don't respect the WBC. I didn't say nothing about the belt. The belt don't make the rules. It's the company that makes the rules. So if the company don't follow their own rules, I don't respect the company. That's why I say I don't respect the WBC. I didn't say I don't respect the WBC belt. I don't respect the WBC.
So let me ask you this, man. We've been hearing a lot of talk about Sugar Shakur, who he want to fight next, what he wants to do with his career. What you think is next for him, man? What's next for Sugar Shakur?
I say the best fight. If you look at the rankings, the best fight for Shakur that's on the table right now that he can get will probably be Frank Martin. That's probably the best fight because Bob Arum already said he's not getting Lomachenko. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, him and his team already said they don't want to fight him because he moves too much. Well, we all know it's bullshit because Shakur don't move like that.
No,
and Devin Haney moved out of the division. So the next best fight is Frank Martin.
Let me ask you this, man. Why is Devin Haney holding up the belts, man? Why is he doing this? That's the big question.
I don't think he's holding up the belts because he's not officially at 140. He won't be officially at 140.
He fighting for a belt. That's what I'm saying. If that was
fighting,
Canelo, bro.
He's fighting for a belt. He hasn't fought for the belt yet. So technically, he's not at 140 until he gets in the ring and that bell is sounded. He's not at 140. That's the same reason why they haven't stripped Jamel. They said they're not stripping Jamel until he gets in the ring with Canelo and that bell sounds. That's when Jamel Charlo will be stripped of the WBO belt.
And that's a travesty, man. That's a travesty. But you know what's so funny? When Canelo have his belt, y'all screaming, drop the belts, you won't fight nobody. But when you got your guy, Devin Haney, is holding up the belts from Shakur, holding up the belts from Martin, no one has nothing to say. Why is that, man? That's just, to me, that's just crazy. It's hypocritical, bro. It can't be cool for one guy and bad for another.
Who told Canelo to drop his belt? He's not fighting nobody.
I'm not saying you in general, but I'm saying that's what people.
No, I'm saying who said it. Because last time I checked, they told Canelo to drop his belt because he's not fighting nobody in his division. Canelo is campaigning at 168. He's not fighting nobody in his division. So they're saying, drop your belt. You're not fighting nobody in your division. Drop your belt. Devin Haney will be dropping his belt because he will be campaigning at 140. So he will be dropping his belts.
Even drop them all, man.
It's not the same situation. It's not the same situation because even if he was to fight at 135, only one belt is up for a mandatory. The other belts are not up for a mandatory. So he's really not holding up the division because those belts don't have a mandatory call. Now, if those belts had mandatory call and he was holding on to those belts, then yeah, he will be holding up. But those other belts don't have a mandatory call. So he's not holding up. And the one belt that has a mandatory call, that belt is being stripped from him because he's going to 140 and fighting Regis.
And see, that's the thing, man. Everybody got different rules for fighters that they like, man. I don't like that, man. That shouldn't be the case, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about because, like I said, Devin is not fighting at 135, so he will be dropping his belt. Canelo didn't fight at 68. He went to 75. Then he came back down to 68, and he brought somebody up from 160 to 68, and now he's bringing somebody else up from 154 to 68. He's not fighting nobody in the division, but he's still campaigning at the division. That's three fights that he didn't fight in the division. He had one mandatory, which was John Ryder, who we all knew shouldn't even been a mandatory, but he was the mandatory. He had that one fight. He fought three other guys that wasn't in his division.
Man, he went. You talking about he fought Triple G, the former unified champion? That's who you talking about?
I'm talking about Triple G, who was not in the division, and somebody that he said he would never fight again. That Triple G.
He gets told what to do, man.
No, he don't.
To my brother, Case of Boy.
Stop that bullshit. He don't get told nothing what to do. Canelo makes all his own rules.
No.
He tell. Who can told what to do?
Salute to my brother, Mark Nash, man. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Man. Like I said, it's cool. If it's not Canelo, it's okay. Everybody else can do what they want. I love Devin Haney. Devin Haney, his father, Bill Haney the pimp. I love both those guys. But what I'm telling you is, these guys are holding up the lightweight division, man. And I haven't heard you say one thing about it. I don't understand. I don't get it.
I've been said I want Devin Haney to fight Shakur. If he's not fighting Shakur, he need to go to 140 and drop his belts. That's what he's going to do. He's going to 140. He won't be coming back down because what he said was he's going to go to 140, test the waters, and he's going to come back down. He's not coming back down. And once he decides not to come back down, he's dropping his belts. So basically, you looking at because Devin Haney's moving up, and he hasn't dropped all the belts. But like I said, the other belts hasn't been called for a mandatory. But because he hasn't dropped all of the belts, it's a problem. But one of the belts is being stripped because they called a mandatory for that belt. So that belt is being stripped. But the other three hasn't been called. But it's a problem because Devin Haney goes to 140 and fighting Regis. But it wasn't a problem when Canelo went to 175.
So basically you're telling me so when Canelo was daring to be great, that's a problem. Okay, I get it.
No, you saying Devin Haney dare to be great is a problem. That's what you saying. You saying it's okay for Canelo to dare to be great, but it's bad. It's not good for Devin Haney to dare to be great. That's what you saying. I'm saying if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
Worst performance. He fighting Regis off his.
I'm saying if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. You can't say it's okay for Canelo to do it, but it's not okay for Devin Haney to do it. I'm saying it's not okay for neither one of them to do it. Because I know Devin Haney's not coming back down to 35. He's going to drop his belts. I know he's not coming back down. Because he already missed weight when he fought Loma 5 times. He missed 3 times in the locker room, and then he missed twice when he went to the scale that we never seen. That's why they had a ceremony weigh-in. We never seen that. He missed it 5 times. And then he made it. Devin Haney, he missed weight 5 times. He missed weight 5 times.
I don't know, man. People love this kid. All him and his family do is lie and hold up boxing, man. I don't get it.
But like I said, I keep trying to tell you, I don't have no favorite fighter. I like all these fighters the same. I just keep it 100. If one person can do it, you can't say it's wrong for another person to do it. If y'all okay with Canelo doing it, y'all gotta be okay for Devin to do it. Y'all gotta be okay for daggone Monster anyway to do it. Y'all gotta be okay for anybody else that does it. If Canelo can do it, anybody else should be able to do it. It can't be just good for Canelo and it's bad for everybody else. It gotta be the same across the board.
You talking about a dude that's gonna walk right in the Hall of Fame. He can do what he wants at this point.
No, y'all. That's why they do the shit that they do because y'all fans like y'all that say they can do what they want to do. I keep trying to tell y'all, when you become a champion, you're not free to do what you want to do. What you're supposed to do is fight the mandatory. You fight the next man in line to challenge you for your belt. You're not free to do what you want to do. You have a standard to uphold. If you don't want to follow that standard, don't become a champion. I keep telling you, it's the same for everybody. It's not just for one person.
Salute to my brother Mark Nash. He said, LOL, you just said you love Devin Haney and love that his dad is a pimp. If you ever watch this, you know what I'm gonna start calling Bill Haney? I'm gonna call him Bill Kardashian. All he do is pimp his son out to do nothing, bro. He's like LeVar Ball, man. At the end of the day, man, he's selling us a bill of goods. It's midnight. He gonna get up there with Regis, and Regis gonna shock him, man. I think Regis might mess around and stop him. Well, how you got that fight going in your opinion, man?
What, Devin Haney and Regis?
Yeah.
I told you I can see it both ways. I can see Devin Haney outboxing Regis because Regis had a hard time cutting off the ring in his last fight. And we all know that Devin, that's the type of style that Devin fights. He jabs and move. He jabs and move. He throw a right hand and move. He's not going to stand right there in front of Regis. But I can also see him Regis catching Devin Haney in the later rounds because Devin Haney tends to slow down.
So that's the thing. We talk about Devin Haney. Can I ask you this? What's next if he beats Regis? Is he gonna step up to the plate and call out T.O., or what's gonna happen?
I believe they are gonna call out T.O. I believe they are because that's what they was talking about. They was trying to go up there to fight T.O., but T.O. had retired after he fought Josh Taylor.
Oh, okay. Here we go. When Floyd,
I'm just going about what they said. I don't know what you talking about. Okay, that's what they said. You can only go by what the man say out his mouth. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, I don't go by whatever people say. I go by what the fighters and his promoters say out their mouth. They said they wanted T.O. T.O. said, I retire after he fought Josh Taylor. He was like, they only gave me $1 million. I'm retiring. So I can't fault Devin Haney because T.O. said he retired. He moved on and with the Regis.
Hey, you won't never give T.O. credit for taking $1 million to fight Josh Taylor, a monster. Former undisputed champion.
Why would I be mad because he took $1 million? I don't give a fuck if that man got $5 million.
No, I said you don't give him credit. You don't give him credit for taking $1 million.
I don't care what he got paid. That man is the one that complained about it. You told me something. I don't give him credit because he took $1 million. He got $1 million for fighting Josh Taylor. He should have got more. Josh Taylor was a big name. He should have got more. It was his stupidity that he didn't negotiate for more money. Like, you can't get. What was wrong? I would have tried to get more money. Josh Taylor was a big name. He was the former undisputed champion at the when T.O. was fighting him. So I would have tried to get more money.
I mean, it's just. I'm not saying you, man, but I'm just saying overall in boxing, we got a problem. Everybody had these double standards of what they want to see and what really matters. I don't really get it. He said Haney is making $1 million and undisputed. T.O. complaining about his purse. I think Devin Haney got $4 million to fight Loma, which was crazy, but he got the money. At the end of the day, I'm telling you, man, a real fighter like T.O. should have got that money, man. You're talking about a cat who want to fight Josh Taylor, beat Loma to death. Nobody give that kid any credit, man.
I said, that man didn't negotiate to get more money, so he has nobody to blame but himself because he went in there and he said he wanted to fight Josh Taylor, and he fought Josh Taylor. They offered him $1 million, and he took it. He should have tried to negotiate for more money. I didn't hear him say, "Oh, they not trying to pay me the money that I should get." He said they only gave me $1 million. So that means that's all you was offered. They only gave you $1 million, so you only offered $1 million. He
the can man. The can man fight anybody. You know that. Anybody.
Anybody except for Afro-American.
What do you mean?
Name the black guy he fought.
Richard Coleman.
Richard Coleman is African. Name the black guy he fought.
That's black. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking. I said Afro-American.
Oh, here you go.
I said you say he's the can man. I said except for Afro-American. So name the black guy that he fought. You can't.
You can't. You can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. This guy right here.
I told you this man. I told you this man. He stayed with his pump ups for T.O. dog. Try to tell you, he stayed with his pump up for T.O. dog. Don't nobody say nothing bad about T.O. dog. Can't nobody say nothing bad about T.O. Nobody.
You know what's so funny, man? For you saying that, you know what I gotta do, man. I gotta snatch your chain, man. You talking too wild right now, man. I gotta snatch your chain, man. You know, man, we gotta snatch your chain off your neck. You talking too wild today. But let me ask you this. So, oh my God, here we go. He put up that picture. Hey, like I said, I don't have no horse in the race. I don't have a horse in the race.
It don't sound like it.
I don't got a horse in the race.
Don't sound like it. Like I said, I know T.O. has boxing ability. I know that man is a great fighter. The only problem that T.O. has, he's a diva and he doesn't have his head on straight. That's his problem. He's a diva and he don't have his head on straight.
Ali was a diva. Sugar Ray Leonard was a diva.
That was their problem.
I love it about you. Well, let me ask you something really, really important about this and about fighting, man. So, what do you think about Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum complaining about the fighters getting paid too much? What you think about that?
They only saying that because they don't got no fighters. All the fighters that they want is going to PBC. They're going to PBC because PBC pays their fighters. I keep trying to tell you, everybody kept saying, "Oh, PBC going broke, PBC this, PBC that." But PBC is the only one that's been putting on big fights all year. All year they've been putting on nothing but big fights. These guys are getting $20, $30 million a fight. Earl and Bud just got like $25 million, $30 million. Tank and Ryan just got $30 million, $50 million.
They said Tank got about, can you believe they gave Tank $50 million?
Yeah, Tank got like $50 million and Ryan got like 30. Yeah.
And you know what? That's well deserved. When you talk about a guy like Tank Davis, man, this is a terrific fighter, man. He went from being I think he was Devin Haney's sparring partner, becoming the biggest nigga in the world. It's amazing to see that. But I tell you this, man, I don't got no respect for Tank until he fights some of these top guys like Sugar Shakur. And we got to remember, he ducked Lomachenko and he ducked Gary Russell Jr. So we call it what it is, man. But he's a terrific fighter, man. I love Tank. I think he's great for boxing. We haven't seen a superstar like him in a while.
You know what's so funny? I think by far you the only person that said Tank Davis ducked Gary Russell, and Gary Russell is my family, and I don't even think Tank Davis ducked Gary Russell.
That's because you're being biased. That's why. Because of your family.
If I'm gonna be biased, I'm gonna say Tank Davis ducked Gary Russell.
Let me tell you why you're being biased. Because you know for a fact Gary Russell was robbed of opportunity that could have changed his life by not getting to fight Tank.
Yeah, he was. But it wasn't about Tank Davis. It was about Floyd Mayweather.
Then who was it?
I just told you. It was Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd ain't in the ring, bro. I don't know why you keep
saying that. Floyd is the one who makes Tank Davis's fights.
Tank said he's his own boss. Tank said I'm my own boss.
Now he is. He wasn't his own boss when Gary Russell was calling for Tank Davis. Okay. He wasn't. If Floyd and Leonard Ellerbe was making his fights, Floyd was the one that said, and even Gary said, Floyd, stop having your man on a daggone leash. Let your man fight. He knew that Floyd was the one that was holding Tank back. Everybody knows that Floyd was the one that was holding Tank back. That's why people was calling for Tank to leave Floyd.
Yeah, you know what's funny, man? Salute to my brother G5, man. You know, I think that brother from Oak Cliff. Salute to him.
No,
I want to send you this.
He's from Dallas.
Well, Dallas is. Oh, okay, he's from Dallas. Well, I put like
he from right there by Fort Worth. Fort Worth, Dallas.
One thing I know about G5 is this.
You don't know shit about boxing.
That's one thing we know. That's one thing we know about.
G5 gonna get up here and roast your ass.
G5 is scared of me, man. Last time I roasted you, man, he's scared of me, man. I don't even want to get on.
Oh my God! G5 about to call for the ladies.
You don't know shit about boxing.
And this for you for G5
fuck
right here.
Fred, fuck Howard, and fuck all of them.
What about Robin? She's hot, right?
Robin?
Yeah.
Who cares about that bitch?
What's going on, King G? Boxeologist, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you coming through.
Salute to you, brother. But back to the thing that we keep getting on. This is the thing we keep missing. Man. When is Tank going to fight the best? When?
No, I mean, right now, all of the best fighters are on Bob Arum's side, and Bob Arum said he's not dealing with Tank. The only person that Tank can possibly fight would be Frank Martin. And I don't know if they're gonna make that fight. That's the only good fight that Tank could possibly get.
Yeah, but he'll stop Frank Martin. I mean, that would be.
I mean, it's a possibility that he'll stop.
Oh my God! Come on, man! You watch, man. Frank Martin is a hype job, bro.
No,
he's
like
a hype job.
No, I'm not gonna say he know a hype job because
everybody.
Who's hyping up Frank Martin's name? Because last time I checked, everybody keeps saying Frank ain't fighting nobody. So that don't sound like a hype job. That sounds like he ain't done enough. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like he ain't done enough because everybody keeps saying Frank Martin ain't fighting nobody.
He hasn't.
So how are they hyping him up if he ain't fighting nobody?
He just ain't fought nobody. I'm calling it out. I know you won't do it, so I got to do it. I know you won't do it. but let me ask you this, man. So what's next for Jaron Ennis? Because he's not getting a fight against Kenny Crawford. What's next for him, man?
I mean, the only thing he could do is wait to see if Crawford going to drop the belts and fight for the vacant belt. That's the only thing he can do.
And one thing I want to ask you is, how can a guy like Boots dare call Kenny Crawford out after he was scared to death? You remember he left the whole WBO rankings. He was so scared of that boy Crawford. How in the world can you ask for a fight now after you were scared? I mean, like scared. We seen him on the show with Wallow. Let me say this. We seen him on the show with Wallow and Gilly, and he looked like he was still didn't even turn the lights on.
See, this is the problem with people. This is the problem with boxing fans. This is the problem with boxing fans. The man Bud said he wasn't fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. He said he wasn't fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis took a fight in the IBF rankings. One, he said because he believed that Earl Spence would fight him. Two, because y'all keep saying this man hasn't fought nobody. So he just went out there and fought Villa, because he just got finished beating Raspidi Ellis. And that was supposed to be a fight that he was trying to make, and Raspidi said that the money wasn't right or some shit like that. And he said that at the press conference right there in front of Speedy face. So I can't say that he's lying. He said it right there in his face. But he was trying to get the fight with Rashidi Ellis, and then Rashidi got beat by Villa, so he went and fought Villa. So y'all saying this man left a division. This man took an opportunity to become an interim champion. He took an opportunity to become an interim champion.
Come on, D3. That's what you do, man. You be moving the freaking goalpost. Let me ask you this.
You asked me a question. How the fuck am I moving the goalpost?
That's what you do. That's what you do. You're a politician.
No, do you know you just set the goalpost right here and I kicked the fucking ball through the goalpost? You asked a question about why did he leave the division, and I just answered the question why he left the division, and you said I moved the goalpost.
Listen. No, I said why did he leave the WBO ranking? He left the ranking.
That means not the division. I'm sorry, the rankings. You asked me why he moved the rank, why he leave the rankings, and I answered the question why he left the rankings. Because he took a IBF interim championship fight. Who was somebody that just beat a guy that a lot of people said was going to give Boots problems. And that man just beat him. So he beat
that
him.
Guy was tailor-made. That guy was tailor-made for Boots, and you know it. That guy was tailor-made for Boots.
No, okay, he was tailor-made for Boots, but he just got finished beating the guy that has a similar style of Boots where he moves around the ring. We saw what Speedy Ellis did. He moved around the ring, and Villa just walked him down. He figured he could do that to Boots, but he couldn't. Boots is a better fighter.
I don't know, man. I'll tell you what. I've been hearing people call Boots the next Roy Jones Jr. Just a bunch of crazy stuff, man. I don't know, man.
So y'all said, oh, he left a division because he was scared of Bud Crawford. But last time I checked, when you become the IBF interim champion, the IBF is one of the few sanctioned bodies that actually follows their rules. They're gonna call their mandatory like they supposed to. The WBO do whatever Bob says. The WBA, people say they do whatever PBC says. And the WBC do whatever the fuck a Spanish person asks them to do. Whoever put them over.
That's not true. The WBC is the only belt that's ever favored African Americans ever, bro. It's the only belt that ever favored us, ever.
No, what era are you talking about? You talking about this era or you talking about back in the day?
I'm talking about their history.
Exactly. I said exactly. What era are you talking about? Because nowadays they not moving like that.
The great Jose Sulaiman, the great Jose Sulaiman, God rest his soul, always put African American fighters in his rankings. Always put him up.
You talking about previous eras? You talking about previous eras? I'm talking about now. I ain't talking about back in 1980, 1990. I ain't talking about 1970. I ain't talking about none of that. I'm talking about 2023. Now, how do the WBC move? They move however Canelo wants them to move, and whoever else line in their pocket. That's how they move.
Hey, salute to my brother Juan. What's up with you, Juan? How you feeling, man? How you feeling, man?
Good.
Hey,
man, y'all killing me right now. Y'all
did you hear my brother D? Did you hear my brother D Free just say it's okay for Devin to hold the belts, but it's a problem when Canelo hold the belts.
Hold on. You can't say Devin's holding up the division when he just fought, not even 4 or 5 months ago. You can't even say that. You can't say that. You can't. And
I never said it was okay. I said if it's okay for one, it got to be okay for the others. That's what I said.
You can't say that. That's kind of biased. Now Canelo has been holding up the division at 68, yes, because he's chasing the Bevo, but that's not. That's not the same thing as Devin.
Let me get this right. Let me get this right, Juan. So you telling me a guy daring to be great? That's a problem. To go
See, that's what I'm talking about. You say Canelo's moving to 75, daring to be great, but Devin can't move to 40 and dare to be great. He can't do it.
Not. Listen. He's not fighting him off his worst performance either. This is Reach coming off his worst performance.
But you just said Devin had his worst performance. So like,
not recently. No, I didn't say that. You gotta check the tape, Juan. You can't come here saying crazy stuff. You gotta check the tape, baby boy. I didn't say that.
Didn't he just say that?
No.
Didn't he just say that?
No,
he said that. He just said Devin just came off his worst performance. Did he not?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say that.
You did, bro.
You did say that.
You said it in the beginning.
You did say that.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Hey, you did say that. Basically, these brothers trying to gang up on your boy BBO. They want to gang up against the black man. I don't know why they want to do that. I've been dealing with this for 400 years. I ain't tripping, man. We've been doing it for 400 years.
I can't, bro. I cannot today. No, that's funny. Hold on.
That nigga BBO got the pom-poms out like a mug. Dog, this nigga BBO be out here tripping, man. He be tripping. He's saying, oh, Canelo could dare to be great. He moving up. Canelo moved up one weight class to fight Bivol. But Devin can't move up one weight class and fight Regis for a championship.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh, here we go. All right. So let's put it like this, right? When did Canelo fight Caleb Plant? What was it? 2021? Wasn't it?
Yep.
Was that what? 2021, right? So since his Caleb Plant fight, right? Who has he fought? John Ryder, Bivol, and now it's Jermell Charlo, right?
It was Caleb Plant, Bivol, Triple G, John Ryder.
Hold on.
Now Jermell.
Future Hall of Famer Triple G. Don't forget to say that, bro.
No, I don't give a fuck if he was already in the Hall of Fame. I don't give a fuck. He wasn't at 168. I don't give a fuck if he was already in the Hall of Fame. He wasn't at 168. He was somebody that was at 160.
Okay.
Hey, so I did check the tape. My bad. I did say he came out with rough performance. Forgive me. I did say that. My bad.
See what I'm saying? See, I ain't crazy. I ain't crazy.
You got me, Juan.
So now,
but that's what they do, man. Whenever you get guys, they want to jump on the black man. Any black man, Spanish guy, you know how I feel, man. That's how we get jumped on all the time. They've been doing this us for 400 years, man. I'm telling you.
all right. So now, right? Let's say that he loses to Jermell somehow, right? Which I don't think is gonna happen, but it could happen. And he loses Jermell, and he rematches with him, right? is it still considered him competing at 68? Is he
said
still
if he do
competing
what?
at? If he loses to Jamel, right, and he rematches Jamel, is he still competing at 68, or does he
Jamel's the
go
big.
from like,
I don't believe Jamel's going down. I know he said he wants to, but that's a lot of weight to go down, man.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
this,
that's 14 pounds. That's a
And
14
that
pounds difference.
and this is
that's
what
not
I'm
happening.
and this is what I'm saying, because now if Jamel, right, let's say he decides to stay at 68 and he feels natural, because I'm pretty sure that's his natural weight class. At this point, now you can't really say, oh well, he's not fighting somebody at his weight class, because technically now he's at his weight class. If he loses, he's still at his weight class. It's not like he's going back down. We all know he's not going back down. For what? Who does he need to fight back down there?
No, I mean, it's not a problem if Jamel fights him and then Jamel is campaigning at 168. That's not the issue. The issue is he's saying it's okay for Canelo to move up and fight Bivol, but it's not okay for Devin Haney to do it. It's not okay for Jamel to do it.
But we all know as boxing fans that Devin is not staying at 35, especially after that last performance. He's not staying there. He's not gonna stay down there. He's barely making it. He said it too. He's barely.
And see, my stance is none of them should be doing it. If they moving up to fight somebody in another weight class, they should go ahead and drop the belt. Now, if they come back down and they fight in their division, so be it. They went up. They fought somebody at another weight class. They came back down and they defended their titles at their division. But my whole thing is, when it comes to Devin Haney, he doesn't have a mandatory call. The one that's been called, he's losing that belt. He's losing that belt. So the same way with Jamel. The same thing with Jamel. When Jamel fights Canelo, he will be losing his belt. That's for the mandatory that's been called. So I don't have no problem with them taking the belts if they going to another weight class and fight. My whole thing is, if it's all right for one person to move up and fight somebody in another weight class and keep their belts, it should be all right for everybody to do it. You can't make exception to one person and not let everybody else do it. One person do it, everybody be able to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the problem with boxing now, because so many fighters want to jump up weight classes, and I feel like they do it so much. It's kind of like, bro, like, if y'all gonna jump up weight classes, stop pulling up a whole division, because the whole division is waiting on you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so like,
Juan, blame.
Hey, what did he say?
What you say, BBO?
I don't know what he said.
That's what they did. That's what
We
they
ain't
did. They
hear
went up.
we ain't hear what you said.
Yeah, I didn't even hear what he said.
I said you got to blame Tommy Hearns or Sugar Ray Leonard for that, because that's guys are doing what they did. They want to be 5-time and 4-time division champions, man, because those guys, your Oscars, your Floyd Mayweather do that.
No,
Okay,
I mean,
hold on, D3. Because when Floyd did it, he dropped belts. When Floyd did it, he dropped belts. A lot of times he was fighting for a lot of belts coming back down to 47, especially after the Oscar fight. He relinquished that belt that he had at 47 and came back down. Because I believe he fought Ricky Hatton for the belt right back after he beat the lawyer. So you can't say, oh yeah, no, they were holding up belts.
That's why Floyd said he beat 26 champions, because he dropped his belt every time he left the division. He dropped the belt and he came back to the division and fought for the belt again.
A lot of those great fighters too were dropping belts and going up. It's not like they were sitting there holding up whole divisions. They wasn't doing that. These fighters today are the ones that are doing it for some weird because they want to still be called champions. Bro, you were a champion no matter what. You relinquish it, cool. You go up the next weight class, now you a next weight class champion. And stop doing that.
Well, let me say this, man. Salute to my man Tommy, man. You know what's funny, Tommy? Back in the day, nobody would ever say they're from the Bronx, bro. I'll give you a lot of credit for that, bro. A lot of cats wouldn't say they're from the Bronx, but you.
What's going on, Thomas? What's going on, Case of? What's going on, Skywalker? What's going on with y'all?
Hey, but this is the funny thing about boxing, man. Now we got guys like Berlinga and Robeisy out there. Let me ask you this: how do you guys see Robeisy versus Inoue at 126? What do you guys? How do you see that going?
I think Inoue knocks him out. To tell you the truth, I think he gets wild at times, and Inoue might capitalize on that. And he showed it against Cool Boy. Like I didn't really expect him to show that much boxing skill. I was like, all right, hold on, where did this come from? Because I seen him fight before. I'm like, bro, where did this come from? Like this is not new. He must have been doing this for a while now. But I think he knocks out Robeisy.
Well, that's because
I think Inoue is going to avoid Robeisy.
Oh my!
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's going to avoid Robeisy.
Hey, listen, man.
He's already.
Everybody,
I don't hate the kid.
You don't.
I don't hate the kid, but I just like to put him in the hospital, though. I like.
That's all.
The man already beat Cool Boy. He talking about trying to go fight Tank Davis. That don't sound like he's trying to fight Robeisy. It sounds like he's trying to move out of the weight class.
Wait, so this weight class is what? 122. They would have to jump up another 2 weight classes, basically, right?
Another two weight classes to get no, actually another 3 weight classes to get the Tank. But
it's two. It's two. Because he's talking about going to 130. They fighting at 130.
Oh, 130. Okay.
Yeah, because it would be 122, 126, 130, then 135. Would it be something like that? And it goes like that, something like that.
No, Tank is going to go down to 130 if they make that fight because they trying to. I don't think it's going to happen, but they trying to get they trying about Inoue moving up to 130 from 122 to 130, and Tank move down to 130 and they fight there.
Yeah, because I don't think Inoue is really I think he's co-promoted with Top Rank, but I think he's still signing into like Ryzen or something like that.
But But Inoue is like a Chinese, a Japanese Sugar Ray Leonard, man. He's like
a Japanese Manny Pacquiao. that man might be juicing too.
Oh,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because if you getting a random drug test and you say, "Hey, I'm not taking this random drug test because I didn't know it was coming," that's why it's called random. That's why it's called random. You ain't supposed to know that it's coming.
It's not a scheduled drug test. It's a random drug test.
You know what's funny, man? D3, man, you my brother, man. You be talking crazy, man.
I just know how I see it. If you're not taking a drug test, it's obviously trying to hide something. If you ain't got nothing to hide, I just had to go take a drug test today. I ain't got no problem with taking a drug test. I know ain't nothing in my system. Nigga could ask me any day of the week to take a drug test. I ain't got no problem taking because I know there's nothing in my system. If I ain't got nothing in my system, I'm not skipping out on the drug test. Why skip out on the drug test if you ain't got nothing?
What the fuck you say?
You only skip out on the drug test if you got something to hide. There's no other reason why you skip out on drug test. All you doing is taking a piss. Why you taking a piss? Or they drawing some blood.
So let me ask you a question, right? So we were just talking about like Shakur and what's he going to do next if Devin drops the belts, right? Which most likely is going to happen. Who does he fight next? I don't think he fights Frank. I really don't think he fights Frank next. So who does he fight next? Is it Loma? Or is it Jermaine Ortiz? Or is it somebody like Isaac Cruz? I don't think Isaac Cruz.
For what belt?
For whatever belt he's ranked in, I think, because what organization he's ranked in right now?
You talking about Shakur?
Yeah.
Shakur not fighting Loma. Bob already said that. That fight ain't happening.
Yeah, I think Bob be trying to avoid the good fights.
That's a lot.
That's Bob's grandson. He ain't letting Loma. Loma just got his ass whooped by Devin Haney. He know damn well Loma ain't got shit for Shakur. He ain't letting Loma get in there and get too many losses. Loma already got 3 losses. He's not trying to let Loma get 4 or 5 losses. Ain't nobody just gonna be going in there and beating up on his grandson like that. He ain't letting that happen.
Hey, one thing I will say is that he protect them guys he love. He really do. He really do protect them, man.
I think
that man said that man was better than Muhammad Ali, better than Floyd Mayweather. Loma ain't been better than either one of those guys. Yeah, not even close. Not even in their later years, Loma wasn't better than those guys.
Yeah,
you know what's funny though? You remember when Manny Pacquiao said he would come fight Loma at 130, and Loma trying to fight though? Loma's 135.
I wouldn't have fought him either. If I know I ain't that damn good of a fighter.
Shoot, I would have not fight him either. That's the truth. I don't know what I'm calling him. That's very true. That's scary. That dude's scary. That dude is scary.
Loma know damn well. He know who to stay away from. He know who to stay away from. He ain't getting in there. He really didn't want to fight Devin Haney, but it was his only chance to get undisputed. He really didn't want to fight him, but that was his only chance to get undisputed.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. So
because if he didn't fight Devin Haney and those belts dispersed, that Loma ain't gonna be around to collect all 4 of those belts. He ain't gonna be around that long to collect all 4 of them.
How old is he now? He's like 36, right?
35.
Right?
35. That's what I say. He ain't gonna be around long enough to collect all 4 of them. If Devin dispersed those belts and he didn't fight Devin and Devin dispersed those belts, he ain't gonna be around long enough to collect all 4 of them.
And you know, come October, he does disperse all those belts. One of those first title shots is going to Shakur. It's not like it's going to Shakur. It's not like it's not. So it's not, you're not fighting Shakur. So it's like, all right, bro, just collect another world title from somewhere else and just move on with your life. You're not gonna fight Shakur.
Man, ain't nobody scared of no Sugar Shakur, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, that man is terrified. You know that man is terrified. D-Free, let this man know.
Who you talking about, Loma?
Yeah.
Under 30, man.
Loma ain't trying to fight no fucking Shakur. I just told you. He just got beat up by Devin Haney. Shakur is a much better defensive fighter than Devin Haney. He's a much better defensive fighter.
Better footwork, too, I tell you.
Shakur can stand in front of you and not get hit. So
exactly. You're not dealing with nothing like that. He's not dealing with nothing like that. Like I said, I think me personally, I think 135 is too much for Loma because he can't really fight, defeat none of the elite fighters at 135.
I think his best weight is at 130. I always say that.
130 is his best weight because at 135, those elite guys are just too good at 135. He can deal with the class below that, but he can't deal with the elite guys at 135.
Yeah.
Sure. That's how I feel. I mean, I could be wrong, but so far, all his big fights at 135, he lost.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. Wait, didn't he fight?
I'll say this though, man.
Didn't he fight Nicholas Walters at 35?
Who?
Or was it at 40? Nicholas Walters.
I don't know. I don't know. He's small.
Yeah, that's my fault. That was 130. That was my fault. That was 130. That was 130. That was my fault.
Whoa. Hey, but you know what I'll say though? Hey, this is what I would say though, man. Salute to my brother D-Free, man. We're gonna be back. You gonna be able to do it tomorrow, D-Free?
Yeah.
You wanna come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is your boy BBO is on his way to Disney World, man, to have some fun, man. So we be back tomorrow live from Disney World, man. Me and my brother D-Free, man, aka the Ring Magazine hater, aka give Oscar no credit. And it's your boy BBO Bob.
Yeah, I don't know if you read the comment when you talk about Teal. I was like Oscar.
Hey, we're gonna be talking about boxing and football tomorrow, y'all. So y'all tune in tomorrow. We're gonna be doing football tomorrow too.
And we're gonna talk about your boy.
We're gonna talk about.
We're gonna be talking Josh Allen, man, saying he's gonna win it all.
We're gonna talk about those dead Browns, and the Commanders, how they got beat up on. Them dead Browns then got beat up on again, like they always do.
Hey, we ain't have no kicker, man. Our kicker was messing up, bro.
All right, y'all.
All right, and we go, man. Peace.
All right, peace.